And can we all just look at the camera together?
Yeah.
And after 3, say 21 is coming. 3, 2, 1.
Top 6 is coming.
21 is coming.
We might challenge for European football.
Jay here of Stretford, Paddock, and the Manchester United US tour is finally over. Myself, Adam McKola, Joe Smith, and Stephen Howson were outside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium after the final game against Everton to give ourselves a little roundup, or give you lot a little roundup of the tour, how Manchester United did. And obviously, we won it. We won the Summer Series, which is always great to see. Always great to see. It's the first time we've ever been in it. Betfred sponsored this podcast throughout the series. They've also sponsored the channel. You can go and check out a link in the description. They're proud sponsors of not just Manchester United, but Stretford, Paddock as well. And always remember, be gamble aware, 18+. Let's check out what we had to say outside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yes, people, what's going on? Adam McKola here for Stretford, Paddock. We're outside the Mercedes-Benz Arena Stadium, Atlanta. I'm here with my friend Stephen Howson.
Hi, I have my own mic.
Oh, sorry. We got Jay here.
Yeah, right.
We got Joe here.
Hello.
It's the 4 of us, the quartet. We're here. And Manchester United's pre-season tour of America has ended. The Premier League Summer Series has ended. Manchester United are champions of the Premier League Summer Series after a 2-2 draw with Everton today.
Were they taking that?
But we are here to discuss how we're feeling about Manchester United, what we think of the team tactically. Have we improved? Have we developed over this course of the last 2 weeks? And of course, how we're feeling about the season coming up. Are there any players that have caught our eye? And do we believe in what the manager is doing? Which I kind of think you've got an idea of what's going on with our thoughts there. But let's get stuck into it. I'll come to you first, Joe. We never come to Joe first. I like that.
Thank you.
Pre-season, on a whole, obviously, how are you feeling about it all?
On the whole, I'm feeling better than I thought I would. I thought we looked quite good. I thought
It's Joe's time to
sometimes
speak.
it can just be innuendo and it just stays in the air and you don't need to address it.
On your whole.
And sometimes you do have to address it. On the whole, on my whole specifically, I'm happy. I think that United looked a lot better than I thought they would. They certainly looked a lot better than last season. Obviously, we've spoken at more length about those first 2 games where we saw the real improvements. We've spoken at great length and great width about those performances.
Great length. All the people say it.
I will say, I think tonight against Everton, we did see a reminder of some of the things we still need to fix.
And what do you think those things are?
I think that the first thing was against physical teams that are bigger than us, we're going to struggle this season. Everton played a lot higher of a line than I thought they would.
Do you think that's just like a being physically stronger and bigger, or is it a quickness thing? Is it a speed of thought thing? Is it a combination of all of those things? What do you think it is?
I think it is largely just a physics and a dynamic thing. Like, you just are bigger and stronger and faster than we are. And I think that we're going to struggle against that. We struggled loads last season against teams that pressed really high. Playing out from the back, it didn't ever work properly. And we saw that again tonight a little bit more. Ugarte had a stinker of a game, got caught a few times. Which is
disappointing for him.
It is disappointing. No, it's okay.
Me and you have spoken about Ugarte a little bit over the course of this pre-season tour. I wasn't completely sold on him on last season. He started this pre-season off really well. Yeah. Today, a little bit of a dip in performance.
Yeah, he got sort of steamrolled a couple of times, which you just can't have. And also, you can have it in pre-season. It doesn't matter right now, but when it's an ongoing thing that we saw a little bit last season, that's when you start to be worried a little bit. But I do think generally it was a lot better, and we need to find a way to overcome this sort of weakness.
On Manu Ugarte, Steve, I think we've seen the manager kind of maybe looking towards a Manuel Ugarte, Kobbie Mainoo midfield too. I think Bruno Fernandes was in the front 3 today, and we saw those 2 in the midfield. Do you think that can work going into the season? Would you be happy seeing that combination of midfielders for the game against Arsenal?
I've said all pre-season, I don't think any of the combinations that we've got in midfield make sense naturally. You might get a specific game, a specific partnership works, but no. I think the midfield is a little bit of an issue. Where's all that coming from? I think the midfield isn't quite clicking, and I think it'd be unfair to just call out Ugarte. I think Kobbie was. The pair of them looked like they were covering 40 metres apiece at a time. Like I don't think they were getting much help from the defence. I don't think they were getting much help from the wing backs. There was times when we
spoke about that, didn't you, with the centre back dropping into midfield. Kind of, you think it's taking time for them to kind of get to grips with that, and like it almost has to be a constant kaleidoscope of movement. It has to be like once one moves, you have to move. It has to all be connected, and if it's not connected, you got gaps.
Yeah, you got to have communication, and it felt like there were times when we transitioned really well and got behind the ball as a team, and there were times when half of the team transitioned and half of the team got transitioned on. And that's the thing that you've got to fix. Attacking and defending is a team game in 2025, and it looks like the team element. Me and Joe are going to do my review in a minute, where I'm sure we'll talk about this in a bit more detail.
Yeah, save some of it for that.
I thought we looked really fluid in attack, and I'll just leave it at that and talk the rest on in my review. But I thought the issues were we got to our back three, or the opposition got up against our back three, almost just completely missing out our midfield, and that can't happen.
Jay, I want to ask you guys about Lenny Yoro. Obviously, we spoke to Lenny Yoro in the mix zone with the other fan channels today. But firstly, Jay, what's your thoughts on the preseason? How are you feeling? How did you feel 2 weeks ago compared to now?
I feel really good. I'm like what Joe was saying. And even today, even though we weren't at it, I'm not that disappointed, because I think it's a little bit of a reminder we're not there yet. And I'm as guilty as anyone, after the West Ham and Bournemouth games going, hey up, United are back. And we didn't finish 15th for no reason. We've still got a long way to go. Tonight's game, you can see Brian Mbeumo, there's little glimpses there. He's not ready yet. We know that. I think that's why he didn't start, and that's why the manager's been cautious with him. And I think that's, look, you could see from tonight that's a good move, because he's not had any training pre-season. So I expect better things from him. Like what others have mentioned, the midfield wasn't quite at the races today. But that's a little reminder that, yes, we've made progress under this manager. And yes, the likes of Mateus Cunha, and I expect good things from Brian Mbeumo as well, are good signings. But there's still a long way to go. So, on the whole, I've been very impressed. The mood around the players in the camp, even then, and I know it sounds daft, but we've done this tour now ever since this channel started. We've been on every tour. We can pick up the vibe. You speak to players, you do as well, and the manager. You can get the impression of what's going on, how everyone's feeling, and it looks like everyone's moving in the right.
Me up today.
Yeah, exactly. He's chatting to Steve. It's like everyone is sort of feeling positive about the way things are going.
He's having a vibe.
Yeah, and I thought Ruben Amorim, me and Steve did his press conference, and you can see he was a little bit, I wouldn't say angry, but you can see he wasn't happy with the level of performance he saw tonight, but he wasn't losing his mind over it. And we know Bruno Fernandes has come out with some quite critical comments post-match. So it shows it's been a positive pre-season. There's been some good performances, but tonight was a little bit of a reminder that Manchester United have still got a long way to go before that Arsenal game.
We definitely have. We've got that game against Fiorentina on Saturday, which is almost going to be like the David De Gea farewell show and all that kind of thing. Maybe kind of like feel like a testimonial vibe in there for him. But again, it's an important part of that preparation. Would you want to see the manager go kind of how his Arsenal 11 is going to look, or do we need to keep giving players a chance still? Because again, Steve spoke about it before. I think all of us spoke about it really, about how pre-season is almost going to continue into the campaign.
Yeah, I think I would just go with the starting 11 for Arsenal personally, because it's good having given the youngsters minutes. Fredrickson we saw came on today again. We saw it a little bit more in the first couple of games, but realistically pre-season is there to get your team ready for the first game of the season and for the full season. And we saw tonight that we didn't have that huge 8, 9, 10 subs at half time. There was 2 or 3 at half time, then 2 or 3 at 70 minutes, and then a couple more toward the end. It felt more like the sort of flow and the substitutions of a proper game. So I expect him to do that. I expect him to build up and be ready for Arsenal, because that is literally the only thing that matters. All of these results and performances, they give you an indication, they can get you excited, they can get you a little bit down, but realistically I would take losing every one of these games to win the first 2 games of the Premier League season, or the first 1 game of the Premier League season.
Wait,
so
are you pretending that the Premier League
Summer Series,
I know
you're a big fan of the Premier League Summer Series,
doesn't mean anything?
That's up there with the Bangkok Cup.
Describe what the trophy looks like.
It's
like
metal.
silver.
It's metal. It's got a base, and it's
Big
upright.
got his stinking base.
It's got some upright nature to it. But yeah, just focus on getting the team ready for Arsenal.
Jace, if I like that, we'll go with that. Why not?
Has this pre-season tour been a success? And not just for us, who's had a great time.
We've had a great time. Met some
Has it been a
amazing
success
fans.
for Manchester United Football Club?
Massively. No big injuries, which is a start, because we usually come on pre-season. Someone will come on the pitch or have just started for United, as your mate happened with last season, and get injured almost straight away.
Happened with the last season.
Yeah, there's a sentence that makes no sense. Was it Lenny Yoro last season who got injured immediately?
Yeah.
Sorry, I say your
Is he
mate.
my mate now?
Just interviewed him.
All right.
Or, we usually have an injury, don't we? That's pretty devastating. Kobe Mainu. Remember when we went to watch the
Season
game
before.
in Houston against Real Madrid? 2 minutes, an injury that kept him out for 4 months or whatever it was. So we haven't had any big injuries. Cunha's looked good. And Bumo's managed to get some minutes, which is a positive sign. The mood around the camp looks good. And it's just Ruben Amorim, there's a reason why we all love him. And we spoke about this extensively on Off the Bar. He's so charismatic. We've been speaking to the media today, to all the journalists who were in that interview with him, and they all say the same thing. He says the right things, he acts in the right way, and I just hope that this continues.
Talking about mates.
Go on.
Did you see it?
What?
My mate Harry told me he was
Harry
just
Maguire.
saying goodbye and that to
Yeah.
me as I left. literally.
Harry
That's
Maguire.
a successful tour.
We'd be
Hey,
mates.
You're
Luke
building
Shaw,
bridges.
Luke Shaw
Are we
and
friends?
Steve are now Bezzies, and you and Harry Maguire are now Bezzies.
No, we're not.
Yeah, handshake.
All right, I shook his hand.
Best mates.
Yeah.
that means you're best mates.
Steve,
Just
what
tell me
do
where
you
the
think
best
United
Chinese
need
is.
to go heavy on between now and the Arsenal game in training? Obviously, they'll be covering everything. We're not going to be, it's not like transfer market when we can only focus on one thing. But let's say this is Football Manager and you're picking the training sessions. What training sessions are you picking? What do they need to be working on? What do we need to get right before that game against Arsenal?
Transition to defence, massively so. Playing out from the back, massively so. And I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of sustained possession, because even though I thought we were quite good direct, we would get on the ball, and I thought we played some real nice one-touch stuff at times today with movement ahead of the ball.
Cunha's good at that, isn't he?
We really liked that last season. People running ahead of the ball. I think that will. You have to almost play off the cuff with that. That's just reps of seeing what's in front of you and playing with each other and getting to know actually he likes to play it with his left foot, or he disguises his passes by turning this way sometimes, and you can get a little one off him there. I would work on playing out. I would work on transitions back, and I would. And I think that'd probably do you, to be honest. I think you probably set plays now in Arsenal.
I'm going to go around the group. Which player has impressed you the most on this tour?
Okay.
And why is it Paddy Dorgu?
Well, yeah, he's right up there. In terms of expectation to reality, it probably is Dorgu for me. Bruno, I think, has been fantastic as well. But obviously,
But he just
we know
is.
that. We know that. Yeah, I think Dorgu stepped up and looks like a better player than he was last season. So,
I
yeah,
dapped up
Dorgu.
Bruno today. Slapped his sweaty back.
Best friends.
But we've always been bezies.
Yeah.
Jasif?
I agree with Joe. Fortunate enough to chat to Dorgu early on in the tour, and he seems like a nice lad. Played really well. Little bit of criticism last season, which I felt was unfair.
Weird.
Yeah, came in January to a team that was right
We've
near the
brought
bottom
a
of
kid
the
into the
table.
worst Man
Yeah.
United team ever, and he hasn't performed
teenager.
at 100%.
Yeah,
Bring a
like,
teenager
just
into it.
absolutely ridiculous.
Mental, innit?
But no, he's been a shining light on his tour so far, and
Shine a light.
hope
What
it continues, and I think it will.
Steve,
I'm thinking. I need the time to revise.
sitting there thinking.
Who's yours then, whilst he's thinking?
It was Manu Ugarte until today.
No, same.
But I think it's Paddy Dorgu.
Yeah.
But just to say another player that hasn't been mentioned, and I know he wasn't good today. Looking at Kobbie Mainoo's physical change has been interesting. Like he looks more ready for Premier League football physically,
Good.
I think.
He looks sharp. I'm leaning towards
Harry Maguire,
Yoro.
Harry Maguire's big class.
Yoro was
Yeah.
one I was thinking of as well.
I think Paddy Dorgu. I think Paddy Dorgu's worth a shout, but I don't think it's a unanimous.
Yeah,
Um,
Lenny,
Yeah, I think.
you know,
I think
Lenny's like just, if you were picking out the best youngsters in the world, he's just right up there, isn't he?
he has to be.
Yeah, he's just nuts, man. And Kobbie, but
I felt like we knew that about
Lenny's
Lenny Yoro a
mustard.
bit more than we did about Dorgu, if that makes sense, because he was
Yeah.
his last season, towards the end of the season in particular, he's
He's
just
mustard,
one of the
man.
few shining lights that we have.
Shine a light. What was that? And can we all just look at the camera together?
Yeah.
And after 3, say 21 is coming. 3, 2, 1.
Top 6 is coming.
21 is coming.
We might challenge for European
We lost
football
Steve.
of some
Steve
description.
will be back on his review, so go and check that out. Can I just say as well, thank you to these boys for being absolutely fantastic. I've enjoyed every moment on tour with them and Ben and Laurie Whitwell, who hangs around us like a bad smell.
That Deliveroo driver.
Thank you to all the supporters clubs that we've come across out here. The Atlanta Supporters Club has been incredible. The Chicago Supporters Club has been incredible. And yeah, obviously New York, New Jersey Reds, outstanding, as Andy Cole would say. And yeah, it's been a blast.
Absolute pleasure.
Subscribe. Big season coming up for all of us. And we'll be covering everything right through to the end of the campaign when United lift our trophy again. So keep it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm Adam McKola. That's Joe Smith, Jay Motty, Stephen Patrick Howson. We're out of here.
Right then, thank you very much for watching. This was our review of the pre-season tour outside the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Make sure you check out Betfred as well, of course, the sponsor of today's show and official betting partner of Manchester United. The link to them is in the description for all the odds on Manchester United and anything you will ever need. Betfred are the guys to do it with. Make sure you click that link in the description. Thank you once again to them. Make sure you're 18 plus and, of course, be gamble aware as well. This has been our tour review. We'll see you in a bit.